Find functional hilarity at the Biffa Emporium. Girl, it's what I heard. Allegedly, it's just the word. Allegedly, it's on the street. Allegedly, I sing to the beat. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly. But before we get to Love and Marriage Huntsville, don't forget to pick up for Christmas your wonderful Alexander Rodgers Allegedly Show sweatshirts. You can get them at the Biffa Emporium. Because remember, we're the true Allegedly Show. Established in 2018. I'm going to put him on some merchandise too. This is a perfect hoodie that's warm and comfortable. It will get you through all of winter and into spring. However, in They Ain't Never Gonna Stop Fighting news, Heifer Jovan, Laura Gloria, as I used to call her, wants to limit her twin son's involvement with ex-Matt Barnes' new reality show. She fears he will attempt to bully and extort her. Now, Heifer, you done run his pockets. You done run his pockets. For $20,000 a month, or life, or life, or life. $20K. You've been running his pockets since pockets could be run. But now you afraid of him making some money with the chitlins. However, I will say, did he let your kids be on Basketball Wives? I can't remember, because you and Laura Gloria, whichever one you is, you always fighting with your basketball baby daddies. Y'all was some twin groupies, and now you got cash register babies. The bully and extort was when he drove all the way from Sacramento to Los Angeles to beat your man's butt. That's the bullying. That's the issue. I remember when he drove down in 3 hours and it should have taken 6, he got there lickety split, and your man still hadn't gotten out of the house, and he bopped that butt. He dotted his I and crossed his T. I think that's why you're doing it, because he embarrassed your man. I will say he looked like a crackhead, though. He cute, but he got that El DeBarge look. There's just something a little crackish about that face. Something about that face says opioid. At least in my opinion. I'm getting opioid. Something about that. I don't know. Maybe it's just... I don't want to say that people that look like DeBarge do cocaine, but people that look like DeBarge seem to do cocaine, allegedly. I don't know. I realize I started the wings, but I need to turn the oven on so I can start the pizza. Otherwise, I ain't going to be able to eat. Mariah Huck says that Pheadra has no connection to the show, but is known as the head doctor. And I have to say, for once, Mariah is right. Well, actually, we've seen the way they kicked off Quad. She might have been right about a few things. However, Pheadra brought nothing to the show consistently, and I don't know how she's going to turn it around now that she doesn't have her best friend Quad. I mean, who's she going to hug up to? Heifer Heffenly? Nurse Ratchet? Dr. Jackie? Or Simone and her buck teeth? Only time will tell. But the fact that she ain't even dating that doctor no more, why even pretend? Just say, and to spice things up, Liar Parks. And honey, that was bland. Paprika gives more. We start off the Heifersode where everybody having dinner. Where the real estate agent friend has made everybody dinner. And now in comes Stormy and her man. Stormy said, I didn't want to come, but a check is a check. But then Marceau throws a dig at Chris, the real estate friend, and says, you made your wife's whole plate. And what's wrong with that? That's his wife. Don't you want your wife to eat? I want my partner to eat. Hell, I'll make a friend a plate. If I'm up, I don't mind making a plate. That's my friend. That's somebody I care about. That's right. You have no empathy because of lead poisoning. I think that's the issue with Marceau's generation. Then Maurice pipes up and Marceau says, I'd shut up, Mr. I Need Sex. Then Maurice gonna say, well, I got caught up trying to make a joke about Carlos. Honey, Carlos is the joke. Meanwhile, you were the butt of Carlos's joke. Carlos sitting back, skinning and grinning, knowing he gonna get a clicking of you off a dumbass you. But you're just too stupid and self-centered to figure it out. Oh God, Martell showed up wearing his old wedding band. Well, Mel showed up with a new name, a new hairdo, and a new anointing on her life. You show up with your old mistress, but your new baby. Why don't you talk about that baby? Oh, child, Stormy and her man brought their baby and they're staying elsewhere. He's like, I ain't sharing a bathroom as a grown man. I get it. Oh, God, but now Marceau's bringing up Tisha's pregnancy test. Honey, don't nobody care. And if she cheated on you, you still couldn't do any better. So Kimmy takes Marceau's side and Mel takes Tisha's side. I feel like the only reason Marceau would think that Tisha cheated is because he's a cheater himself. So he said he gonna believe in his vasectomy before Tisha. Then Mel says, well, she trusted you through the rumors, through the photos, and Tisha said, I got blind trust for you, but you ain't got blind trust for me. He ain't got nothing for you but dick and bubblegum. You married a feces. Listen to me. So the girls go out to the hot tub for a beverage. Tisha said, oh, Mel, you look like Martell with them glasses. Girl, no, she don't. You just want to throw a dig. Mel said Martell never got her to the big O. I'm not surprised. Now she got some new dick, she realizes what it is to flirt and squirt. Tisha, why you keep saying, Mel, you lying like you was in the bed with him? But then we get to Kimmy going off on Maurice about that insensitive interview, and she felt unprotected, because he wishy-washy. And Tisha upset that Marceau embarrassed her yet again by not trusting her, but I figured you'd be used to that bull by now. Over on the porch, the men's is having drinks and cigars. Marceau is trying to make this such an issue so he can leave Tisha because he don't want to be in that marriage. He's looking for an out. He wants to be able to cheat in peace with new women. He would love to be able to walk away from this marriage. That's why he's making this such a big deal. So Marceau gets back to the boudoir and Tisha ready to pop that ass. So he wants to say that Tisha gaslighting him for not believing his vasectomy didn't work. Girl, if she was cheating, why would she let you know she took a test? She just said, I felt like I was pregnant. It could mean menopause is on the way. There's a bunch of different things. She ain't pregnant. I'd just be glad of that, whether it's yours or not. So Tish tells him, well, you can have this room to yourself since you think I'm cheating, and goes out in the hall and tells Maurice. And she said, I'm just mad he thought I'd cheat. But in the late of night, Martell sneaks in a strumpet louder than a trumpet. So the next morning, Tisha talking to Kimmy about how mad Marceau was. Marceau really gonna act like Tisha would cheat. If she did, that's not cheating, that's karma. We gonna end it with some yoga. So Nell told Kiki to come and gonna say I went soft. No, you went messy, heifer. You went messy. I thought the real estate agent guy's name was Chris, not Fletcher, or is Fletcher their last name? Well, he's like, I'm going to try to support you, but bringing Kiki here is real messy. Then he says, and speaking of bringing people here, Martell had a hussy over last night. So now Nell mad that Martell had a harlot. He said Mel's there. Mel don't care. Actually, that's best. That way he ain't bothering Mel because he's with his hussy. Mel don't even have his last name no more, Nell. It don't matter if she's in the house. The kids ain't around, it don't matter. Well, that was the shit.
You know, it still just bothers me that Dr. Jackie was so upset about writing a profile or a doctor's note for a woman to get off work. I mean, what if it just isn't the physical stress of pregnancy, but the mental stress of pregnancy? That has to be incredibly stressful to think about actually delivering and bone separating, not to mention bringing up a black child in this racist world. That's stressful. But Jackie, you wouldn't know anything about the stress of pregnancy, would you? You wouldn't know anything about that, because you're infertile. Just like you said Buffy was, you're infertile. So you wouldn't know about the stress of pregnancy. So maybe you should get pregnant before you talk about black women crying wolf, because you're infertile. You're infertile.
Alleged what? Alleged who? Allegedly, allegedly. Don't blame, don't sue. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly.